Episode 226. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We got Batman Hush 2, probably the most anticipated book of the year. And we got Dan Panosian doing Last Boy with Peter Pan, issue number 1. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yes, getting back on set in a couple of weeks. We have our shoot date as the 14th, I believe, so I'm already in pre-production, working on breaking a script down to do the schedule and eventual call sheets, etc. So yeah, excited to finally get back on set. It's been too long. The last one I did was that Crispin Glover film that had to be like 7 months ago, something like that. Crazy. All right, so we're going to jump into this. Remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can, and if you can share this video out there, that would be great as well. And if you can't subscribe, ring that bell, ding, ding. And if you'd like to read anything that I've written, as far as my comics, my novels, etc., just go to Amazon.com and type my name in there. Just type Frank Zanca, and you'll see a bunch of the stuff, including Destiny Aurora, the quadrilogy. It was also made into a graphic novel, as well as a board game, an RPG. It's also on Audible. And then I have my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch. And I am working on a new novel called Battle for the Ruby Slippers. It's actually something I started like 15 years ago, and I'm finally picking it back up. I'm going to finish it. And I'm also working on Fairy Tales of Terror, which is my new comic, and the artwork is looking phenomenal. But I'll let you guys know when we're going to hit Kickstarter with all that stuff. All right, so let's talk about Batman Hush. The reason this is so anticipated is you got Jeff Loeb and you got Jim Lee coming back to do the art. He hasn't done artwork because, of course, he's upper echelon now. He's management and hasn't done artwork for Batman for a very, very, or any comic for that matter, for a very, very long time. And the original Hush series was very, very well received. Some people say that it's one of the best that was ever done, and I don't agree with that. I think it was good. I think it would probably make a pretty good film. The cartoon was not good. The adaptation they did was not. I think they made Riddler Hush instead of it being Tommy. It just didn't make any sense. What the hell? Whoever adapted that thing was bad news. So anyway, this is the first issue because it's number 158, and we're coming off a very, very bad run by Chip Zdarsky, and they're just kind of forgetting everything that he did and just kind of starting from scratch. So again, the artwork here is extremely good. You can't fault Jim Lee in the least. He knows how to draw Batman. And he knows how to draw dynamic panels. So, but my problem is not in that. So we start out with Batman talking about garbage men. And there's all these Joker piranha in there. Again, no lead up. This is just like it is. And then they have like Joker gas. I don't know what's going on. But you can see the dynamic pose there. And then he starts, questioning them, but they're dying. There's not much he can do about that. And here's where I have my first problem. So he's literally looking in the thing, right? Which he probably has his little ultraviolet goggles or whatever the hell. And then he turns around, a Joker pops up and hits him in the head with a crowbar. And then kicks him. Come on, man. This whole book makes Batman look like an idiot. An idiot. The writing on here is poor, as far as I'm concerned. So he gets hit, and then he falls into the water where the piranhas are eating at him. What an idiot. Now we're only 2 pages in, and they've already destroyed Batman's character extremely quickly. So he gets saved. In the first 3 pages, He has to get saved. Bad. Meanwhile, you got Joker who actually got away and has this guy pick him up and take him to Hush. Okay, so he's basically dragging him along. All right, yay. And then we switch over to, I don't even know why they haven't gotten married yet. I don't know. Tom Taylor teased that, but never actually did anything with it. But that's another problem. So we have Nightwing and we have Batgirl, who's kind of playing a dual role here, where she's also playing Oracle. And they're saying that Batman dropped offline and they can't find him. So instead of going out to look for him, they stay there. Or at least calling some of the others to see if they've seen him. But anyway, he gets saved by Talia, who then just leaves him there. He's got chunks of himself beaten away by the piranhas, and she just leaves him there. And so we got Joker and Hush now, who is Tommy Elliott. Again, why he has all the bandages on at this point, I don't know. But anyway, he puts this gag into Joker's mouth where he can crank it open. And he starts chucking scalpels into his chest. Just for the hell of it. Again, no storyline here at all. If there's a storyline here, you tell me what it is. So, you know, you can see the thing sticking out of his mouth and you can crank. And that's really all we see on that. And now Batman's back into the Batcave. He gets a whole new costume, of which I like. It's got the old style stuff on it. And Dick finally shows up and says, "Hey, you're back." Yeah, to no help of yours, man. So they find a shoe, and he tracks the shoe. Again, artwork is good. He tracks the shoe to guess where? Guess where? Because we got to think, don't think out the box, man. We got to think as low as we possibly can. Just bad, man. Just bad. Guess what? He goes to an abandoned carnival. Wow. First time we've ever seen that. My God. How long did it take you to think of that? 2 seconds? Come on, man. Come on. So anyway, he finds Joker. We don't know. I don't even know if he's alive or not. I can't tell. We really don't know. Tommy Elliott's showing him stuff that's happened in his life. The tragedies. And he leaves the scalpel in his hand so he knows that it's Tommy. And that's the end. So, there's that. My God. It took you how long to write this? You're going off of Hush, which was a classic. Whether you like the storyline or not, it's a classic. And you come up with a storyline that's... I don't even know. Is there a story here? I don't even know there is a story. We're 22 pages into this thing, and we have no idea what Tommy's objective even is. The writing here is extremely poor. Poor. So the only thing that's hedging the bets on this thing is the art. That's the only reason to buy this. So I'm going to get the next issue just to see if there is a storyline pops up somewhere. If there isn't, I'm dropping it. Because if there's going to be any that's worth money, it's going to be the first issue. Not anything beyond it, unless there's a first appearance somewhere. And if there is, somebody will tell me. So anyway, the first appearance of Punchline, I think I paid like $30 for that book. I don't even know if it's worth that anymore. So that character crashed and burned. And then I'm a big fan of Peter Pan, Wizard of Oz, stuff like that. So the book that I'm writing right now, what I was telling you before when I first started, the Battle for the Ruby Slippers, is a Peter Pan, Wizard of Oz story. Because the first thing that came to me, because both of them are public domain. And I know that the Ruby Slippers is technically not public domain because that was done by MGM. But I talked to a uh, copyright attorney, and they said that any change to a public domain property remains public domain. So any changes that somebody makes to Wizard of Oz or any other story, anybody else can use because you don't own that. You don't own the general thing, so you don't own any of it. The only thing that MGM owns is the movie itself. Like I can't put stills or things that look exactly like the movie in a comic, but I can make the shoes red and it's not going to change anything. So the first thing that came to my head is, wouldn't it be great if the Peter Pan had a battle with the flying monkeys? So that's the first thing that I thought of to create this thing, and I just edited the first 150 pages because the first 150 pages are already written, and really really good stuff. I like my own, I like my own shit sometimes. I was actually surprised because I haven't picked up in like 15 years. I'm like, you know what? It was written horribly. That's why it took me so long to edit it, because the writing on it was, I mean, I had run-on sentences for days. It was horrible, but I fixed it all now. So yeah, now I got to figure out, because I didn't make notes about what happens, so I have to make it up from the middle on now. That's pretty fun. But anyway, I'm a big Peter Pan fan, as well as Wizard of Oz, and so I saw somebody else doing Peter Pan, and I was like, oh, I got to see what they're doing with it, to see if somebody else is kind of thinking out of the box a little bit for this property. So I picked it up, and Boom is not really known for some good books at all, but I figured I'd give it a shot. And the artwork here is not very good. The artwork in here is actually worse than the artwork that I have being done right now. But anyway, there's Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell looks really close to like Disney. So just saying. But anyway, and so does Peter Pan for that matter. My Peter Pan's not going to look like this. But he's got this monologue going on, and I was like, and instead of the Indians, they call them natives throughout. Come on, man. They call them Indians in the book. What does it matter? But he changed it to natives to be PC, I guess. Because I didn't think this. Hook and the pirates are aging, but yet he's staying the same. And we don't even see the Lost Boys in here at all. But I didn't realize. I thought everybody in Neverland stayed the same age. It's just that they're adults and he's not. But according to Panosian, the pirates are aging. So Hook is aging and everything like that, which I don't really understand. But anyway, they have a relationship with the Indians, with Tiger Lily and the chief, which we find out later she is the chief. But he sees that they have the Indians' pelts and thinks that the pirates are stealing them, which they're not. So he goes in there to go do battle, but he wants to find out what's going on with the Indians first. Then we switch over to Wendy, who's obviously older here, and she's reading stories to the kids, which is something that Wendy would definitely do. But we find out that her father is dying, and her mother's kind of being a bitch, and says that he's the only one that will take the medicine is from you, so she goes up to take care of that. He says, no, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And she tells her mom that I have my manuscript's almost done and I have an editor, and she's like, you've never told me any of this. And, you really need to just settle down without going into, she's basically playing the differences between the older and the younger versions where, women are not meant to work or something. I don't know what he's trying to say, but I think that's what he's trying to say. Is that Wendy's more progressive. I think that's what he's trying to say. So we get this thing, and I guess she's got to get on a boat to see her editor. She's in London. There's no editors in London. I just find that very strange. But anyway, we see this, thing of Neverland, this map of Neverland, and I guess he's got this huge X see where it says native country. but they've moved a little bit closer to shore, and he's like, well, I'll find them. The island's about four miles long, man. You think you're not going to find them? Stupid. But anyway, I do not like the designs at all. I don't like the design for Peter. Peter doesn't act like Peter here. And he finds them. Of course he does. He just has to go into the air. Why does he even need a map after all these years? I have no clue. But anyway, I don't understand the top hat situation there and the boots for Tiger Lily. Again, I don't really like the designs here. But she ends up telling him that, no, we have a trade agreement with the pirates. You don't have to worry about nothing, blah, blah, blah. They're behaving themselves. And he's like, no, I will go kill Hook. And she starts crying. She's like, boy, that guy's just stupid. And again, I don't like the design for the Jolly Roger there. It's not very grandiose. And you can see that that all of the pirates are older. They're all grayed. And this kid's like, I'm going to kill you all. He's fighting these geriatric people. I don't know what I really don't understand what the writer's doing here. I mean, look at Hook. He looks like he's about to die anyway. I feel bad for Hook in this whole thing. He's telling Peter, he's like, no, man, we have an agreement. There's nothing going on that's bad here. He's like, no, I'm going to kill you anyway. And he's pleading. He's like, no, man, I'm telling you. And finally, he's like, you're right, whatever, get off my boat. I will give the pelts back. Even though he paid for them. The poor guy, man. Here. So basically, he has him walk the plank on top of everything else. Again, this is not Peter Pan, because Peter Pan comes off very, very, he's not heroic here. He's just very animalistic. And there goes, the guy can barely walk. He looks like he's 80 years old. And he's like, oh, there's no splash. No, because the fucking TikTok clock crocodile eats him. So he got him killed. And that's the end. What the hell, man? What am I reading? What is this? What happened to the hero? We got a freaking guy that needs a spanking, man. Won't listen to anybody. So let's do a recap. No. Well, let's make it. I can tell from the first issue that the writer here has no idea what he's doing. He's not even trying to go into the only person that even seems like herself is Wendy. Otherwise, there's just nothing here, man. Oof. And Batman Hush, I can see the first one being made into a film because, again, the cartoon was so bad. The animated one that's on Max is horrible. But this is just crap writing, man. I don't know what's going on. Crap writing all over the place. Unfortunate. And these guys are getting published. And, Jeff Loeb, man, is... What happened? Somebody beat him on the head? I don't know. Again, I'll know with the second... If the second issue is just as bad... We know that he's just on serious drugs at this point and is just getting a paycheck, and that's it. All right, unfortunate that I got two very, very mediocre books that I was looking forward to both of them, and I was disappointed by both. So, all right, that's it for me. Give me a like and give me a subscribe if you can, ring that bell if you can. Share this out there. So people know what's out there and what they should be spending money on, what they shouldn't. And if you'd like to read anything that I've written, definitely go to Amazon.com and put my name, Frank Zanca, into it and check out some of the stuff that I've written or in Kindle or on Audible. All right, I will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching. You guys have an awesome week. Everybody.